So there are things that I've come across periodically that have been very influential to the success of kind of my own personal development and my business. And so I wanted to give a shout out to a book called Atomic Habits. This is a book by James Clear. Fantastic book. I want to talk a little bit about this book. I'm gonna drop a link in the description below where you can purchase this book. I would highly recommend you check out this book. This book was recommended to me by my business coach, and it's been absolutely amazing. This book has really transformed the way that I think about mainly habits. The book is titled Atomic Habits, so you could probably assume that it is about habits. And really the premise of the book is you don't get to decide your future, but what you do get to decide is your habits. And your habits are what decide your future. So what you do every single day with the amount of time that you have in your day determines your future and determines where you're going to be in life. So with that, I wanted to basically dissect what I felt like were the top 3 habits that I do in my business that you could also do in your business that would help you to decide that future, to help you decide the correct habits that will decide your future one day. So thinking about this, it's really hard to narrow down success to only 3 different things, but I wanted to kind of narrow it down in a specific category. This is something that my church recently did to kind of list out 3 habits that you could do throughout your year to basically draw closer to God. So I kind of took that information and kind of applied that to my business life. So the top 3 habits that I feel like I have done that have helped me become successful, that I'm going to continue doing to continue becoming successful, because it's really like a ladder. You get to one stage of your success and you're not done. You have to keep applying the strategies that you have before and also some new strategies to get up to the next rung and so on, and to keep climbing that ladder. So the first habit is a daily surrender to a higher purpose. Now this really means don't be arrogant and don't have a crazy ego that's going to cause you to do, things for show or clout and not necessarily things for good. So at the end of the day, it's very, very easy to get in that realm. I've gotten into that realm where you're doing it for yourself, you're doing it so that you look good, and when you're doing something just to look good and not really for purpose, it really isn't worth it, because most of the times you're spending more money or you're acting a certain way or you're doing something just so other people will notice you, but when it's all said and done, that action doesn't really have a purpose. It doesn't have a reason for being other than making you look good. That is the first habit that I want to challenge you guys to commit yourself to, is a daily surrender to the higher purpose. And the higher purpose is something that is important. We talked about this a lot in our group coaching call. Basically, my higher purpose is obviously God and the calling that God has brought me to, but you can have a different higher purpose. What I mean by a higher purpose is something that's bigger than yourself. That is bigger than just, hey, look at me, look at what I've accomplished. If you are only going through life focusing on look at me and showing off and wanting to impress people, you're not going to get very far. That really makes me think of a quote that I saw by Jim Carrey recently, is that he prays that every single person would become successful, become rich, be able to buy everything that they've ever wanted so that they can understand that that is not the thing that makes them happy. I think that's such a good quote, because if we are focused on our own selves, on making our own selves great or making ourselves look better, we're quickly going to find out that that's not really the solution to all of our problems, and that really only amounts in more loneliness. So what we need to do is surrender ourselves to the higher purpose of whatever we have in life that is calling us to become a better person, do something that's outside of ourselves. One huge thing that we do in our business is we donate a portion of our proceeds to different charitable organizations to accomplish different things around the world, things that we wouldn't really be able to accomplish just by ourselves. For instance, one of the things that we donate money to is called Agape International Ministry. I'll put a link down in the description below where you can learn more about them. Fantastic organization. And what they do is they help free kids from the sex slave industry. All around the world, there are kids going in, being abducted into slavery. It's estimated now that there are more slaves in the world now than there ever was. And that's absolutely insane. And slaves nowadays are doing horrible, horrendous things. They're being forced to do horrible, horrendous things, and they need people to speak up for them because they can't speak up for themselves. And so that's one thing that our business really does, and I think it's really cool because when we go and do work for people, they are actually partnering with us to change the world, to change the life of somebody in another country that they'll never meet. Another thing that we do is we donate a portion of our proceeds to help rebuild homes that were damaged by California wildfires. Every single year, it seems like, the state of California is on fire. Luckily, in 2023, we really didn't have that, so hopefully that's how it stays. But most of the time, there's fires going on like crazy in California. Wake up one morning, your house is gone. It's absolutely insane. So we partner with an organization called Hope Crisis Response Network. I'll drop a link in the description below so you can learn about them as well. And they help rebuild homes. So they get donations from churches, from people. They get donated labor. And basically they rebuild homes for people that have lost homes through no fault of their own. So absolutely fantastic. And again, do what you feel you need to do to infect change that's greater than yourself. So the whole premise of habit number 1 is a daily surrender to your higher purpose. So get your mind off of yourself. Don't worry about yourself looking good, and get your mind on other people. How can you make someone else's day better each and every single day? If you keep your mind and yourself focused on helping other people, you're going to be successful. The second habit that I think that I've done that I want to challenge you guys to do is a weekly devotion to growth or betterment of your own person. This comes out of 2 different philosophies. Basically, one is business growth follows personal growth. If you're not becoming a better person, there's no way that your business is going to grow and become better at what it does. That's just the way it is. The leader needs to grow so that the business can grow after it. And the second premise is you reap what you sow. So whatever you do, you tend to get more out of that. So if you are dedicated to growing and bettering yourself and bettering other people and helping other people grow, you're going to reap that as well. So if you are constantly sowing, hatred and distrust and ego and, hey, look at me, that's exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get surrounded by people that are the same way, and they don't care about you, and they're not worried about helping you grow. Bare minimum, weekly, you need to dedicate yourself to growth. And what I believe that means is every single week you need to do something that maybe makes you a little bit uncomfortable. You need to do something that you wouldn't normally do. You need to learn something that you didn't know. Every single week you need to be focusing on this. It'd be great to do it every single day if you could. Your growth and your success will only come quicker if you do that. But at bare minimum, do it every single week. Learn something new. Push yourself to do something that you wouldn't typically do. And push yourself out of your comfort zone at least once a week. There are many different things that you can get plugged in to do that, but one huge way to get new ideas to do that is to hire a business coach. We have a Handyman business consulting agency, and we have a coaching program called the Handyman Academy, and this is an absolutely great program. We have inspired a lot of great leaders to actually grow their business, start up and grow their business in an outward focused manner so that they aren't only pleasing themselves, but they are pleasing other people in their community. If you want more information about that, you can head on over to handymanjourney.com/coaching. Absolutely fantastic. I would highly recommend you at least check that out. I'll drop a link in the description below where you can get more information on that as well. But that is a huge resource to dedicate yourself to betterment and growth every single week. We have a bunch of courses you can go through, as well as group coaching calls and a private Facebook community of people that are all about that growth, all about that growth, all about that growth. That really leads us into habit number 3. And habit number 3 is a dedication to involvement in community. And this is really based off of the Jim Rohn quote of that you become the average of the 5 people that you hang around. So if you hang around with 5 millionaires, you're bound to become the 6th. On the other side, if you hang out with 5 thieves, you're bound to become the 6th thief, right? So oftentimes we become who we hang around. So the third habit is surrounding yourself with a community that is inspiring and uplifting on every single account that you need to do in your life. So if you are looking at getting better in business, how can you surround yourself with people that are constantly looking to get better at business? If you struggle in a particular way in life, how can you surround yourself with people that maybe struggle with that same thing, but they're looking to get better in that way of thinking and in that way of doing? How can you surround yourself with people that are not just stagnant, people that aren't just hanging out? This makes me think of a quote of, what do you call a bunch of fish that are just swimming downstream? You call them dead, right? And the live ones are the ones swimming upstream going somewhere. So that is what you want to. You want to be a part of those fish that are swimming upstream against the current, trying and fighting for something because they believe that tomorrow can be better than it is today. There's many different communities that you can get involved in. We have a free Facebook community called the Handyman Journey Mastermind Group, and that's on Facebook. That is a fantastic community of like-minded individuals. There's over 11,000 people in that group. I would highly recommend you check that out. I'll drop a link in the description below. The second community that I would highly recommend you get involved in is our Handyman Academy coaching group, and we talked about that a little earlier. Another way that you can start learning in this community atmosphere is by getting the Handyman books. So you could get the Handyman Marketing Handbook, Handyman Pricing Handbook, and the Handyman Sales Handbook. And there's a lot more Handyman books to be coming out in the coming years. And this will really help you engage in that broader Handyman community and help you learn to accomplish habits 2 and 3 by you're actually learning and you're bettering your life and your business every single day. Then you can bring that information that you've learned from those and apply them to the Handyman Journey Mastermind group on Facebook. Start asking questions, start engaging with other people who are asking the same questions, and start learning and becoming that better person that you want to become. So I have been doing this handyman business since late 2016, and I have seen a lot of growth. But it hasn't all happened at once. Habits are things that you do every single day. A lot of people believe that success just happens, right? Because they see that success story and they think that it looks like overnight success, but it's really not. That success story is built up of little habits that that person has done every single day and has gone unnoticed for probably years that that person has been doing that habit every single day. And that's what you have to do. You have to be committed to those little habits every single day, and eventually you'll get to that success. And people on the outside that aren't in your circle will think that you had an overnight success, but really it's because of the little habits that you did every single day. And again, I want to recommend that book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. I will put a link in the description below where you can purchase that book. That will be an Amazon affiliate link. So that helps out the channel if you buy from that link. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have gathered some good information here. I hope that you guys apply those 3 habits to your life. A daily surrender to a higher purpose. Get that ego out of here. A weekly dedication to growth and betterment of your personal self and your business. And number 3, dedication to a community that will help you become the person that you want to be. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.